A cultural misunderstanding can arise from an innocent gesture. In an increasingly globalized world, communication inevitably crosses linguistic and cultural boundaries. However, it is often the most innocent gestures, a handshake, a glance, a smile, or a nod that become the source of serious misunderstandings. What is friendly in one culture may be offensive in another. An innocent gesture causes no harm until it steps outside the cultural frame of the receiver. In intercultural communication, what we need to learn is not right or wrong, but fit and respect. In everyday interactions, we perform hundreds of nonverbal acts unconsciously, from the way we hold eye contact, cross our arms, nod, to how we smile. These behaviors seem innocent and automatic, yet in intercultural contexts, each gesture becomes a code, and the danger lies in the fact that there is no shared dictionary. A direct gaze, considered sincere and confident in the US, may be perceived as rude or confrontational in parts of East Asia. A firm handshake, expected in Western business settings, can shock communities where physical contact is restricted. In nonverbal semiotics, every action is encoded by a society's value system, meaning the same gesture will be interpreted differently based on the receiver's culture. The real challenge is this: the sender often has no idea they've sent a wrong signal, because within their own frame, the gesture is neutral or positive. This gap creates the risk of deep misunderstanding, not out of malice, but cultural unconsciousness. The assumption that everyone sees things as I do pushes us beyond the safe zone of global communication. A connected world demands we relearn how to read, express, and empathize through even the smallest actions. As communication philosophy reminds us, what is unspoken can often be more dangerous than what is said aloud. Many believe that if their intentions are good, they will be understood, but in intercultural communication, good intent does not guarantee good outcome. A friendly pat on the back may startle and offend someone. A polite smile in Europe might be seen as unserious in cultures valuing calm solemnity, like in Nordic countries. The issue isn't the action, it's the cultural frame that interprets it. In reception theory, the receiver doesn't absorb the act as is, they interpret it through their own experience, values, and expectations. This results in what sociologists call nonverbal shock, distress not from grand conflicts, but from subtle cues considered too minor to prepare for. These minor cues hit hard because no one anticipates them. In international business, many deals collapse not from strategy conflicts, but from unconscious insult, masked as goodwill. Successful intercultural communicators aren't those who are often right, but those who adapt quickly. They don't defend their behaviors, they ask, what is normal for me but might not be for them? From that question, they build bridges, not walls.
Culture is like an emotional filter. It colors how we interpret every behavior we encounter.
In intercultural communication, people don't react to the act itself. They react to how they feel about it through their cultural lens. A prolonged gaze might feel engaging in America, but could be read as confrontational in the Middle East. A Western-style shrug might signal helplessness, but in honor-based cultures like Vietnam or China, it's seen as dismissive. This is not hypersensitivity, it's emotional systems shaped by collective history. In symbolic interactionism, people react to the social meaning of a gesture, not the gesture itself. Thus, effective communication isn't about acting correctly, but acting contextually. This lesson is crucial for diplomats, global customer service teams, and multinational leaders. They must learn to see behavior through the other's eyes, and accept that in layered cultural spaces, sincerity lies in the willingness to adapt. Good communication doesn't erase identity, it respects boundaries while navigating them. In communication, a behavior that's harmless, or even polite in one culture may be deeply offensive in another. A classic example is pointing. In many Western cultures, pointing helps clarify direction and assertiveness, but in Indonesia, the Philippines, or Thailand, pointing at others, especially elders, is disrespectful. Similarly, resting your feet on a table may be casual in some societies, but highly insulting in Middle Eastern contexts. These differences don't stem from intention, but from how each culture defines the limits of respect. In communication anthropology, this is known as cultural emotional zones, boundaries around social values like politeness, hierarchy, and honor. When an act unknowingly crosses such boundaries, the outcome isn't just disagreement, it's loss of face. In many Asian societies, losing face isn't just embarrassment, it's loss of social standing. Thus, learning to read cultural maps is not merely polite, it's a survival skill. Smart communicators don't just express well, they're alert to what not to do. Some misunderstandings don't need words, one wrong gesture can unravel years of built trust. In a global environment, communication success depends less on eloquence and more on context awareness, knowing when to speak, when to pause, and how to behave in contextually appropriate ways. A cheerful American-style "hi" with a wave may surprise or seem impolite in cultures like Korea or Japan, where first greetings are more formal, often involving a bow. This reveals that good communicators aren't those with advanced techniques, but those who sense the environment accurately. In social behavior psychology, contextual sensitivity plays a central role in communication success. Emotionally intelligent people often excel at adjusting their nonverbal behaviors. They don't apply one social model to all settings. Instead, they listen with their eyes, sense emotional climates, observe others' reactions, and select the most fitting version of behavior. Such individuals don't aim to shine, they aim to keep others safe. In today's complex, fast-moving world, this is more vital than public speaking itself. One common fear in intercultural communication is, am I losing my identity? In truth, flexibility isn't surrender, it's expansion. When we adapt our behavior to fit others, we're not denying who we are. We're making ourselves easier to understand. It's like translating a book into many languages. The message stays the same, but accessibility grows. In cultural intelligence, CQ, research, flexible adaptation is a core component of effective behavior in multicultural environments. People with high CQ don't change their values, they change how those values are expressed to avoid conflict. This flexibility doesn't dilute identity, it enriches it through reflection and interaction. Keeping your identity doesn't mean never changing, it means knowing when to hold and when to open. In a layered world of beliefs, habits, and expressions, those who can blend without disappearing are the ones who carry their identity strongest. Cultural misunderstandings are not dangerous if people pause, dialogue, and turn them into paths toward clearer understanding. Often, mistakes handled with goodwill become deeper lessons than first-time accuracy. A misread glance, gently clarified, may create intimacy. An awkward gesture, met with grace, can spark an honest conversation. In intercultural communication, mistakes aren't failures, they're data. Smart communicators don't hide mistakes, they share them to learn and grow. Thus, cultural competence isn't about avoiding errors, it's about learning from them and responding with kindness. This is how we train empathy, a trait so scarce today. Communication isn't just for comprehension, it's for building trust. And every lasting trust has passed through misinterpretations resolved with humanity.